Welcome. Salute. Shades of Clarity of the Shades of Clarity channel. I am back with a fresh new video. What I'm going to talk about today is triggers. As you may have seen from the intro, Clint Eastwood and High Plains Drifter teaching those local yokels how to shoot. I did have to edit out the part where he's got that mug of beer because I didn't want to trigger anybody that used to like to drink beer. But what is a trigger? Well, it's a stimulus that normally elicits some kind of pleasure response or a reward. It caresses that reward center in our brains. It could be internal, depression, loneliness, regret, feelings of failure, all that good shit. All that stuff we know and love. And the external could be the tinkling of glasses, smells like stale beer in a garbage can, or finding dusty old cans and containers like I talked about before. You know, that stuff can definitely be triggering. It's almost like a Pavlovian, you know, the Pavlov, his dogs, you know, that were conditioned through using a metronome, and the dog would eventually associate the clicking of the metronome with the treat of meat. And when the dog heard the metronome, after a while it would begin to salivate. Same kind of principle. Had to stop for a second. Had an F-35 take off. But triggers, they don't have to be intense. Now, I know that a lot of people struggle around the holidays. That's the time when you can see couples having a great time, out on a date, drinking glasses of wine, all that good stuff. Or the beer commercials, you know, during the Super Bowl. All that, you know, it's all just tied in with drinking. And in your former life, if you've gotten sober, you used to do a lot of beer drinking. That could probably cause some conditioning and external stimuli to make you feel like you really want to go get in that car or whatever, or take your bike, or however you get to the store, go to the store, convenience store, grocery store, and pick yourself up a six-pack. Don't do it. Just don't do it. There's ways to cope with that. If you learn cognitive behavioral therapy, you can look online about ways to do that. Deep breathing is always good. Stop sign method. Envision that stop sign in your head. Or just remember how bad it was, you know, crawling around on the floor, praying to the porcelain god, as I'm so wont to say. Yeah, it can be rough, like in the early days of sobriety, to avoid triggers. But for me, it was definitely a test to myself early on. I probably shouldn't have. Went into a couple of bars, didn't drink anything, just had Coke. But the tinkling of the glasses, the banter, the chatter, the jukebox, tunes playing, remembering the good old days before I became an alcoholic. I've been able to sit down and not worry about not having a driver's license or something going wrong, or worrying about my life taking a nosedive, knowing that I didn't have a problem. And over time, it just develops. When you cross the line with this disease, you will be faced with triggers. They're all over the place. Especially, like I said, the external stuff is, I'm not sure which is worse. The internal, because if you're depressed, or you're down, or you're feeling like a failure, or you're just plain bored, or something like that. I'm not sure which is worse, that or hearing tinkling glasses, or seeing somebody maybe at the park, or you're at a festival, seeing, you know, amphitheater, seeing some rock band or something like that, and seeing people having a great time and they got their hands wrapped around a cold one. It can be tough. It can be tough. My advice, maybe if you're not ready to face that kind of thing, is to just avoid it altogether. I wouldn't even go there. Do not pass go. Do not collect a terrible hangover. Just don't do it. But that's my video for today. I hope you guys like it. If you liked what you've heard, you've liked what you've seen, please hit the like button, subscribe button, check out some of my other videos, and as always, stay tuned, come back, see clowns later.